What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta, the Whataburger team of the week. This week is Clear Springs. The Chargers softball team knocks off number one 6A team Katy in a wild game that was a walk-off three-run home run by Aaron Polite, who's committed to Florida A&M. Alex Henson at the game caught the video. Alex, just what was the chaos after the game like?
It was chaos during the game. After the game, our guy Tyler was there just cheering on Clear Springs. When Aaron Polite hit that three-run blast to take them past Katy, it was pandemonium from Katy's side, the spread eagle, and then we had Clear Springs. I'm talking, you could see water getting thrown up in the air. She came through with her little flexing through there. She had a dinosaur there with the celebration. It was pandemonium through the celebration.
I see you, and you're running with your camera, and you're catching all like the point of view of people running after the ball. And I'm telling you, man, that's high school sports at its finest. For Katy, we had been so hyped up on them the whole season, but I was out of town, you're at the game, and y'all are texting me the score, and I'm like, dude, something special is getting ready to happen. And you just text me and like Polite hits a three-run bomb, walks it off.
5 minutes prior, you said the magic moment is coming.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And I was in the outfield, great shot, just blast over the the right field, left field?
Left field fence.
Left field fence. Look, I'm learning my terminology. But they have some kind of lake behind the field they play at, and they're in the shrubs just going for the ball, and I'm like, look at these guys, and I'm running up there. You can see every girl just screaming in Erin's face like, oh my God, you did this. She was just on a cloud that I couldn't even imagine.
Well, kudos to them. They're our Whataburger team of the week. Now, next up is Atascocita. Can they get it done and get to the state Final Four? We'll see. All right, Matt Malatesta, Alex Henson. This is the Whataburger team of the week, the Clear Springs Chargers. Oh, hello everyone. Matt Malatesta with VYPE, along with Matthew Ogle and Jackson Bisqually. We got a lot to talk about. We had some epic instant classic performances in baseball, softball playoffs. We're going to break it all down. We're going to start with softball. The game of the week was Clear Springs beating Katy in a walk-off three-run home run. It was wild. Was it expected? Not really. But kudos to Clear Springs. Can they continue the momentum as they play Atascocita? Sometimes when you play and you just have that giant monumental moment, the next game you kind of fall kind of flat sometimes. Atascocita's solid. They swept Bel Air, and Bel Air's a good team. Atascocita's having a really good season. But man, the Clear Springs, we'll get back to this three-run home run, the shot heard around the world. But Clear Springs and Atascocita, thoughts on this game? We'll start with you.
Well, Clear Springs has some mojo. That's no doubt about that, and they're probably riding high on that epic ending. After that, you can't underestimate them anymore. I think that's going to be one of the more tightly contested matches because Atascocita, they're very battle tested. They have to contend against the Kingwoods of the world, and they, I don't know, they got all that momentum. These two teams, I think, have the most momentum of anybody. Clear Springs, I really like their depth. Obviously, Aaron Polite hitting that three-run homer, Ariana Garcia, Mackenzie Thomas. They have a lot of depth, and that really came into play. Although I got to favor Tascasita on this one. But then again, you can't. I'll stick to my guns. Let's say Tascasita.
Dude, make a decision, dog. Come on.
Springs is good.
Good Lord. What the hell?
Tascasita is going to have, I think, the slight advantage.
Just make a damn decision.
I'm going Clear Springs. I'm going Clear Springs in this one. I think they carry on momentum. I think playoff baseball is all about, or playoff baseball, softball, whatever sport it is. Whatever team gets hot late, I think that's the team to kind of watch out for. I think Clear Springs is hot right now. They get the win and move on to the state Final Four.
Preseason, Atascocita was our number 7 team. And Clear Springs was our number 18 team. I'm going with the chalk. I'm going to Atascocita. They move on to the state final four. All right. Number 2, Conroe versus Midway. Conroe coming out of nowhere, kind of. I mean, Conroe was our 16th ranked team. You know, you got Alyssa Sneed, but there's more to that team than that. And they've been kind of building since their freshman year. And what a historic season they're having. They had a 1-game playoff, blow the other team out. Now they played Midway. Midway, super solid. They were in the states finals last season. Can Conroe make it happen?
I mean, the Midway just swept Oak Ridge. Conroe's they got a lot of heat coming their way, but they've reached the regional final first time ever. Hats off to them. Midway, I think they have the slight advantage because they, like you said, reached state final a year ago. They're probably pretty pissed because of the way that it ended. Kind of similar to that Katy Clear Springs walk-off fashion, losing it all in the end. But I think they're plenty motivated. Conroe, they got a Cinderella story going, but it'd be fun to see if they could get another upset.
So who are you picking?
Midway. I'm going Midway.
Is this this is
I
not
know,
that
I
hard.
know I'm indecisive. I don't know. I don't,
Go.
I'm going Conroe. I'm from this area. I would like to see Conroe and a Conroe ISD school do something great in softball. I think Alyssa Sneed and what this team is doing right now, they're hot. Like I said, like Clear Springs, they're hot at the right time. I think that they are going to win, advance to the Final Four.
I hope I got fingers crossed for Conroe also. I'm going Conroe. Alyssa Sneed going to UT. She's a fun kid. But they've got a kind of edge to them. So I'm going Conroe also. That was 6A D1 Region 3 and Region 2. Now we move into 6A Division 2. We'll start with Region 3. Kingwood plays Clear Creek. Clear Creek having a historical season also, man. I didn't even know they played softball at Clear Creek, but they do. Kingwood reaches the state final four last year. We love Addison Shepard. We love Coach. We do a bus tour. We did a bus stop with them. That was super fun. I'm going to say Kingwood kind of makes this look easy. What say y'all?
going to see them play Katie Jordan, I would concur with that sentiment. It's not just Addie Shepard, though she's their leadoff hitter, had a phenomenal opening game that I saw, but it was their pitcher, Hunter Quintel, young sophomore girl, had 14 strikeouts. Really, and she's not a bad batter either, and that really, I think, adds another dynamic there. Obviously, you have Mia Gagliardi as well, but they have I mean, from top to bottom, even their like last hitter, which was a Bella Mata, she went like 2 for 3. So it can be anybody stepping up. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think they're one of the best coach teams in the state. Uh, I think Kingwood wins it all.
The whole thing.
Whole
the
thing.
whole enchilada.
Whole enchilada.
Boom. Okay. State champs. Okay. Jackson D, what do you say?
I'm gonna go Kingwood too. I think Chloe Craig might take a game. Just kind of with how things go in playoffs with 3-game series. Sometimes you get one up. But I think Kingwood wins this series, advances to state. I think they are once they get to the state final four, they will be the state favorites.
Bold.
But like you said, historic season for Clear Creek. First
Yeah.
time since
2009.
2000.
But they were in our rankings. Preseason ranking number 24, and they play preseason rank number 1. Kingwood. I want to go Kingwood as well, just on that. Okay. Over in Region 2, Class 6A D2. My gosh, these are so confusing. Tomball plays Forney. Tomball baseball, always solid. Tomball softball is not bad. They've been really good over the past couple of years. Forney, I'm gonna think. I mean, they beat Langham Creek. So I'm gonna say Forney's gonna win this game. Win this matchup.
I like Tomball. They flew under the radar for the longest time. Like I finally addressed it in I think our final rankings before the playoffs. Like, hey, this team's actually not bad. I think they fly under the radar because of the district they play in. Like people just assume, hey, it's these Klein schools. There might not be a super high level of competition, but I mean, after defeating Royce City, I like Tomball on this one. It'd be the first time since 2010 that they reached state, which they won it that year. But Forney, they won it in 2019. It's a toss up for me, but I'll favor Tomball on this one.
Tomball.
I'm going Tomball. I got to I went there for their media
Oh, yeah,
day,
that's right.
got to talk to coach. You know, they got a lot of their junior class is really heavy. That's kind of what they're hanging their hat on. They've got some great seniors as well that have been good senior leaders for them. I'm going Tomball. I think that another team just carrying on that momentum and keep going. So I'm going Tomball.
Forney, Tomball, Tomball. Tomball, not in our preseason rankings and not in our others to watch. So Tomball having a year. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go Class 5A D1. Barbers Hill, Angleton. Barbers Hill, man, we love us in Barbers Hill. Sam Landry killing at OU. She was the #1 pick in this pro softball league draft that they just had. She was a #1 pick. The #2 pick was a girl from Memorial that's completely killing at Arkansas with like 30 home runs. The #3 pick was Emily Kennedy, who played at Lake Creek. I mean, that's the top 3 picks were all from the city of Houston. Barbers Hill, Angleton. Barbers Hill, they're going to win big. I'm sorry, Barbers Hill versus Angleton. Yeah, I think Angleton is good. They have had some really good teams in the past, but Barbers Hill is just Barbers Hilling again. I say Barbers Hill. I like Haley Nutter.
Me too. Barbers, I give them the slight advantage because Angleton has proven that they are capable of competing against these high level teams. But Barbers, I think they have a lot more depth across the board. Obviously, the pitching is there. In recent years, they're up there. I mean, 2021 was the last time that they won it, but Angleton won it in 2019.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that they won it so close together.
I'd say this is the matchup of the week. If not Clear Springs, Atascocita, I would say this one because they're both so proficient in that 5A Division 1.
So who are you going with?
Barbers.
Okay. Not so fast, my friend. We're going Angleton here.
Purple.
We're going Angleton. Angleton's been having a year in every single sport across the board. I think that, you know, while we do like Barbers Hill, and this will be a year where they don't have to play Lake Creek, I believe in a regional final or a third round playoff appearance. I think the Angleton Wildcats, Purple Rain, they get it done and they move on to the state final 4.
Barbers Hill was our preseason #3 team, and Angleton was our preseason #13 team. So we're pretty close there. I like it. I like it.
We've been pretty accurate.
Class 5A D2. Lake Creek playing Nederland. Lake Creek killed Georgetown 10-0. Sarah Wiggins having a year. Good pitchers. I'm going to say Lake Creek wins again. They haven't lost a game, as we know, all season. They are number 16 preseason, and now they're our #1 team. Okay, thoughts on Lake Creek, Nederland?
Yeah, like you said, Sarah Wiggins, she threw a perfect game against Georgetown, which, I mean, it's difficult to do against any team.
Crazy.
But, I mean, Georgetown, such a great team, and they were still able to do it. That, I think, is the perfect, like, icing on the cake, because I said last week I don't see them losing a game. They might be playing a 3-game series for the first time in the playoffs this year, but if they can't hurt you with Sarah Wiggins, they can throw Chesney Davis in there. I believe Madeline Davis is the leadoff hitter. Always very great. Gracie Brewer's great. Well coached. I don't know. Lake Creek, I'm still sticking to my guns. They're not losing.
Nope, I believe that.
Lake Creek, I like what they're doing right now. They're still undefeated. Also, shout out Coach Dylan Larson, assistant coach over there for Lake Creek softball. Also a coach for the football team. I'm going Lake Creek. Big.
All right. Okay. Coach Carter, man, she loves this team. So we're going to all go Lake Creek on that. Clean sweep. All right. Baseball, you were at a crazy series as well. The Woodlands playing Klein Kane, the Woodlands traditional power. We were there the previous week doing like a VYPE 360. Klein Kane soccer win state. They've had a really tremendous year in track as well. Football is also always does pretty well, but man, their baseball team has just caught fire. They really don't have any past tradition, but they've had a tremendous season. What do you think about that series? Just at a glance?
Yeah, looking at the series, the Woodlands dropped game one. I thought that, they'll bounce back in game two. They pitched Jack Schmeckel, who's been the Texas commit junior. He's been kind of one of their aces all year long. And it was a 1-1 game throughout the entire game. But the crazy part about Klein Kane is, I guess, in game one, Blaine Bullard, who's the A&M commit, he scored every single run in game one. In game two, when they're down 1-0, he hits a bomb over the right field fence to tie it up, and then he got intentionally walked the rest of the game. And then Klein Kane ended up winning on a pass ball with bases loaded, 2 outs, I believe, in the bottom of the 13th or bottom of the 14th. I believe bottom of the 14th. So it was just kind of a crazy, wild game. Game lasted about 4.5 hours. Long baseball game. But you look at this Klein Kane team, they're solid defensively. Their pitching's pretty stout. Their bats, they faced probably the best pitching staff they probably faced all year, and were able to put runners in scoring position and hit the ball when they needed to. So I think Klein Kane is in a good spot heading into this week against a very tough Rockwall opponent who has consistently been a regional finalist, if not state Final Four opponent. So we'll see what happens this week.
What do you think about this Kane Rockwell? Do you feel who wins this series?
I mean, if they were able to outlast a dugout like not dugout, bullpen like the Woodlands possessed, I'd say they keep their hot streak rolling. Historic season. We were completely wrong about Region 2. We were like Bridgeland, Cy Ranch, the Woodlands. Bridgeland lost the opening round against Klein Kane. Klein Kane follows it up with a state power defeat in the Woodlands. Maybe they do it again. I think they go another one.
So they beat Rockwall.
I think this game is definitely going to 3, by the way.
Yes.
It's a home and home. So they're going to play one game at Klein Kane. The other game is going to be played in Dallas. In Dallas and Rockwall. Third game will be played at Jesuit. So this is going to be a really weird kind of series because you're coming to Houston, then you're going to Dallas. It's going to be a little
lot
weird.
of travel.
Yeah, a lot of travel. So you never know what that can do to either team.
Man, I'm gonna go Rockwall on this one, unfortunately. All right, so 6A D1. Those are D1s. Region 2. Katy playing Atascocita. Katy beats Cyfair. Atascocita beats Dobie. Katy is solid. Atascocita, I mean, golly, what was it last year? They had 2 players drafted in the first round that came out of that program. When we had our media day, man, you look at Katy boys, they are huge. Great arms there. I'm going to go with pitching. I'm going to say Katy wins.
I'll concur. Though Atascocita is having a year, and as you said, they've had tremendous success in the past whenever it comes to the players going to the next level. But yeah, I think their dugout really, bullpen is really going to be a definitive factor, and I think they're going to potentially make it to state. We'll see.
I'm going Katy here. I think that it's going to lead to a very exciting matchup in the regional final next week. I'm going to go Katy. I like the pitching that they've got. I believe Udlin is one of their top aces. I really like what he's doing. I believe he's committed to TCU. So I'm going Katy.
Lamar versus Pearland and the other one. Pearland, again, that's your favorite team of all. Nico Partita, I think. Y'all are besties. You have friendship bracelets and stuff. I don't know.
He's been heating it up.
So Lamar winning in state track, which is kind of out of the blue. Now they're on the cusp of having a huge year for baseball. They've had some good teams in the past.
Yeah.
But Pearland just kind of has, for me, they lost so many players last year. I just think they continue to raise the bar, and they just have a culture of winning in baseball. I'm going to go Pearland.
Likewise. I'm not wearing my friendship bracelet, but yeah, I mean, he's obviously their biggest threat whenever it comes to the bats. He hasn't pitched as much as he did last year, but he's always capable. Their other pitcher, they have obviously several, but it's not as widely known as it was last year with Barfield and Mater Cooper. I mean, Grant Shepard's a good pitcher this year. I believe there's a couple others, but like you said, they're well coached, a lot of tradition there. And Lamar, I mean, it's a tough ask. But I think we'd all like to see Pearland versus Katy or Pearland versus Atascocita. And Pearland, they're gunning for their third straight appearance at state. So I like them reaching that point.
For me, Lamar was a school that I went out to for their media day. I remember talking to a couple of players, and they were like, "We're gonna go. We're gonna make it to state this year." And you hear that from a lot of programs, so
Yeah.
you're like, "Okay, okay." But now they're 3 rounds deep. They're playing a team that has been in the state championship game or state final four the past 3 years. Um, they have a chance. I'm gonna go with Partita. I believe he just posted. He pitched one of the games this past weekend. Topped out at 97, 96, 95, 96, 96, 95, and 6 innings. So he's really humming it from the right side on mound. I think I'm gonna go with Partita. And that Pearland team. I think that the experience of playing this late in the playoffs is gonna play a factor here.
I agree with that. Conroe playing Midway, Conroe High School, baseball, softball, having historic seasons. Conroe baseball, they get really challenged in a pretty tough district with the Woodlands. You got Grand Oaks, you got Willis,
Oak Ridge.
you got Oak Ridge. I mean, you got a lot of really solid night in, night out games, and they just hung in there. So that's really cool to see. I love with this new playoff system that kind of teams are playing like teams as it relates to apples and apples.
Exact same matchup right now.
Yeah. So now they play Midway. I'm not sure. I think the road ends here for Conroe. I'm gonna go Midway.
I'm going to say Cinderella's story continues for Conroe. I like, they've been doubted all year long and they've really stepped up to the plate, pun intended, I guess. But it's really been a tremendous year, and I would love to see them stick it to those Waco people.
Okay, fair enough. All right. What say you, J Money?
I'm going with the row.
Go.
With the row, I think first time they've made it this far deep in the playoffs since 1989. So it's been a while. been a while.
It's a renaissance. Right?
Yeah.
It's been a while. But I think you look at Conroe's athletics in general; they're all doing really well right now. I believe Conroe football won a first round playoff game for the first time in forever. So you look at what they're doing there: softball, baseball. Even the basketball teams. I think that the momentum is going to carry over here for baseball as well. So I'm going Conroe baseball on this one.
Conroe baseball. Okay. Then we'll go D2. We'll spin through the D2. I think the matchup of the week for sure, the can't miss games or series is Kingwood versus Memorial. That is probably our number 1 versus the number 2 teams in the city right now, if not the state. I think this is going to be a wildly close series. Gonna go to 3. Kingwood beat Alvin in Memorial swept George Ranch. So I'm going to say this in a bad way. They've had a little rest. They've been able to kind of get their bearings under them. Now it's the big boys. Whoever wins this series is going to the state final 4. Man, I just want it to be close. I think Jeremy York for Memorial has had a lot of teams that have been very, very heavy on talent. They just haven't gone the distance. I'm going for them. I want them to go the distance this year. Going Memorial.
Well, you already know what I'm about to say. The Kingwood Mustangs, it was kind of weird. Whenever I was there covering the softball game, they were literally playing like right next to me.
Right.
I think they had obviously a more favorable matchup against Alvin. George Ranch was actually a sneaky good team this year, so hats off to Memorial for sweeping them. Kingwood, I mean, they don't really post stats, so I couldn't tell you who's their standouts, but I'm gonna go with the baby blue here.
Okay.
Good pick.
Good pick.
I like
Good
that
pick.
pick. I like that pick. Good pick. I'm going Memorial here. I think Memorial is we went out and watched them kind of at practice whenever we were there for the spring football tour. I mean, you just watch how these guys are hitting the ball. Their staff is really good. Staff is really good. They just play good overall baseball. They're good. They're good defensively. They're good at they're good on the pitching staff. They're good hitting the ball offensively. I think this is the year for Memorial. They've been one of the top teams, if not the top team in the state, all year. I think they get it done. I think this is the year for them to make it all the way and win it all.
I think whoever wins this series, like I said, goes to the state Final Four. The other part of the bracket is Katie Taylor versus Clear Lake.
Clear Lake has had a good
Was
year.
not expecting that.
No.
Clear Lake has had a good year. They've got a pitcher who just committed to A&M, actually, a lefty, I believe. I believe he has over 63 strikeouts on the year. Pretty crazy stat with how many innings he's pitched. But I'm going to let you go back to it.
Yeah,
with your
I mean,
pick.
Katie Taylor, I mean, this is another great thing about this playoff system. These teams are going D2. Usually they would play a D1 playoff and maybe just couldn't compete at that level, you know. But man, great for these. I don't know. I'm gonna pass.
I'll go Clear Lake on this.
Okay.
Although I mean Katie Taylor, they play in one of the toughest districts in the state. They're kind of well prepared.
Here we go.
Like their division's slightly easier, but that doesn't mean they're not capable. But I think, as he just mentioned, pitching is going to be a deciding factor. I think that's where they have the advantage.
Okay.
Clear Lake. Go
Clear Lake.
Falcons.
There we go.
Southside.
Okay, on the Region 2 side, we got Tomball playing Tyler Legacy. Of course, Tomball won state last year. They just haven't had the pitching and the hitting. They lost a lot of those players last year to graduation. You know, they have a stellar pitching staff with Sampson,
And Reader.
yeah, and Reader. I mean, they're really, really good. They just haven't, not that they haven't a sophomore jinx, seeing that they're juniors, but I think that they're gonna beat Tyler Legacy and take another step closer to state.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know too much about Tyler Legacy. We know plenty about Tomball. We know what they're capable of. We know they're well coached. They're very humble too. I like the. I mean, whenever we had their media day, we wanted them to be flashy. We're like, hey, bring out the bling, bring out the trophies. The head coach was like, no,
Yeah.
they know what we did, so they probably just have a business as usual mantra going right now.
They definitely do. Coach Doug Rush is one of the best in the business,
Mhm.
but he does keep it like just status quo over there.
I mean, but that's also another thing. Like, whenever we went out to Randall recently, Coach Randall said, the 2024 team won state. 2025 team hasn't done anything yet.
Mhm.
It's a little similar here. But obviously, when you bring back Texas commit Carson Reeder Jr., CJ Sampson, another junior who's committed to Florida, then you got Harper Gates and Catcher Hopkins, both going to A&M. It's a lot of talent on one team. Not even talking about probably some younger kids that we don't know about that are probably going to be getting recruited heavily as well. So you talk about this Tomball team. I think that when you have a good staff and you're able to just hit the ball, play a little small ball as well, I think that sets you up in a good spot in any game. I think they sweep this series. I think they go 2-0, get back to the regional final. Maybe play a little closer to home.
Cy Woods versus Roy City. Cy Woods had a year a couple years ago. Also, man, they're really well coached. Another long, lanky staff, a bunch of really good arms. I'm gonna go Cy Woods in this. I just think the strength of the Houston area for baseball and softball gets you prepared for long runs in the playoffs. I think Cy Woods will hold on to that, and I think they win.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they would start to decline a little bit, especially after, I mean, so many of their players graduated 2 years ago after they reached the state tournament, and then McLean Helton graduated. I didn't really have them super high up. I think I had them like maybe 25, 24 before the year started. But hey, look at them now. Turning heads, I believe they just beat Oak Ridge. Big hats off to them. Cy Woods, keep it rolling, baby.
Cy Woods. I'm going Cy Woods. I think it's going to be Houston versus Houston Region 2 final, which has been pretty consistent over the past couple of years. I think it's going to lead to a very exciting matchup between Tomball and Cy Woods.
Ooh, that would be nice. That would be good.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna brief through the 5A. Barbers Hill plays Hendrickson. Lake Creek plays Anderson. I don't know if y'all get tired of hearing the same names in baseball, in softball, in basketball, in volleyball, So, but Barbers Hill playing Hendrickson, I think they're a special team. Barbers Hill, they won it a couple years back. I'm going Barbers Hill. Lake Creek, another really, power program in baseball, man. They have just had a great history in a short amount of time. So I'm going to go sweep again, Houston. Barbers Hill and Lake Creek.
That would be dope to see them play each other. Well, yeah, they're both in 5A D1.
Yeah.
Barbers, they're well coached with David Denny, and the same can be applied with Lake Creek. Culture is there. Barbers, they showed some resilience. They lost the opener against Crosby, ended up winning the final two. Phew, I'd like to see that matchup, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Thoughts on that?
I'm going the Lions and the Eagles here. Barbers Hill and Lake Creek.
Let's go.
Double
Let's
dubs. I'm going for sweeps in both of those as well.
Whoa, bold. All right, and then finally, 5A D2, the Fighting Matthew Ogles, the Kingwood Park plays Weiss, Pflugerville Weiss.
The Panthers.
Yeah.
I
Matthew Ogle, in full transparency, went to Kingwood Park, and everything Kingwood he is obsessed with.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Humble ISD having themselves a year. Got
Yeah.
both the Tascasitas, both Kingwoods. Kingwood Park, I would have loved to have seen the Kingwood Park softball team in this scenario, but KPU baseball, I don't know too much about y'all, but I know who I'm favoring.
I'm going Kingwood Park.
I don't have to say. I don't have to say.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going Kingwood Park. Pflugerville Weiss, I believe, is having a good year. But I just think Houston baseball is just different. Houston baseball softball is just different. The amount of talent that you see coming out of this area, that's why you see the big schools in any. That's why when we look at college baseball, we look at college softball. Half the people that are the top people all played Houston high school softball.
I'm telling you, man.
So. I'm going Kingwood Park baseball. I think they win, advance to the regional final. I don't know when the last time they've reached a regional final is.
K Park? I don't know.
I mean, they were pretty good whenever I was in high school. I think I'd have to check historically speaking, but we're doing well.
So in baseball, this is the Sweet 16 of each tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And in softball, we are in the Elite 8 of each tournament.
Yes.
So we're getting down to it. The end of the year is coming. 24-25, we're going to have a debrief on the entire year at some point. But we're coming off a track where Houston completely dominated. We tell you year in and year out, we are some spring sport people, right?
Fall sport this next fall, though. Fall sport.
Yeah, fall sport. Baseball, softball, I think Houston's going to get it done again. Okay, so closing thoughts on what we've seen so far. I think the Kane sweep of the Woodlands was very newsworthy. I did not see that coming. What is your biggest storyline so far in baseball?
In baseball, I would say, Klein Kane having themselves a year, proving the opposition wrong, proving everybody wrong. I really enjoyed what I've seen from them.
What's your storyline?
I mean, Klein Kane was a great storyline. I think for me, it's Conroe baseball. Just what they're doing right now. To advance to the third round for the first time since 1989 is impressive wherever you're at, but especially at a school like Conroe, who I believe is top 5 in the state in school population. So to see their baseball program start to be doing well, that's pretty promising, especially in the district.
That time.
What is your takeaway from softball?
Softball, not necessarily shocked with Clear Springs Katy. I feel like that was something that we, as much as we were predicting maybe Katy, we always know that there's always a possibility of an upset, and so it seemed like Clear Springs wasn't necessarily as shocking. I think the biggest shock, not even shock, but biggest news, Clear Creek making it to regional final for the first time since 2009. I think they're doing really well there. A lot of people maybe slept on them all year, so we'll see what happens in this regional final for them.
What's your storyline?
I mean, Clear Springs, no doubt there. Yeah, Katie. I mean, we were assuming that that was the team, but playoff softball, playoff baseball, it's a different story, especially whenever you have. I don't know if they won the coin toss, but they played at Clear Springs, 1 game series. I don't like 1 game series is because if you get shocked, if you get surprised, tough luck. You're done.
They lost 2 flips. They had to lose 2 flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Clear Springs wanted a 1-game series and they won the flip on the home.
Yep.
If either one of those flips goes another way, Katie wins. It's the flip of a coin. That's so wild, right?
We never. Yeah,
We say that, but
I
you
don't think
never.
location has too much of an impact. 'Cause-
Oh
No, Alex was there. He was hype over there, dog.
Well,
It was hype.
if you have a loyal fan base, you're still going to load up the stands. So the home field advantage, yeah, there's an aspect there. But, I mean, Katy, they lost to Kingwood on their home not turf, but home field. So it really doesn't matter. It just matters, hey, how do you play on this given day?
All I'm going to say is if you've ever been to any Katy sporting event ever, the Red Machine very much travels. So I would say that a difference in a home atmosphere, I think definitely affects it, though it didn't last year for Kingwood. Kingwood was a solid program. And that game was highly contested. I think in a matchup like this, and especially a 1-game series, when you're playing in front of your crowd, hey, we got one shot to do this. We're the underdog in this story, even though they might not feel like the underdog they are. I feel like that played an impact.
So 3 months ago, I wrote a story talking with Coach Burrell at Katy. She said this group has had some heartbreak over the years. We have lost in the past. When we have lost in the past, we have pushed the panic button and played not to win, but to not mess up. I think that's what happened.
Where was the panic button? Okay. We got to press that now.
Okay. But hey, that's why you play the games.
Yeah.
That's why you play the games. All right, so not to pile on, we do love Katy. Their players are awesome. Their families are awesome.
They'll be back.
It was one of those things. They've lost to
Kingwood,
Bel Air
in the
2 years ago.
area round, and then
They lost to
Kingwood in the regional final,
and they lost to Clear Springs
in the regional semis. And I think the biggest storyline is how well Lake Creek's done. And I think, as I said before, I would love to see them ride it all the way to the championship. And it's clear now. I mean, they're here to play. They're here to win, and they're
young.
not shy about it.
They're super young and they're super confident.
I think also just to add one more thing, the one thing that when we're saying that Katy lost like past their years and either regional final with the second, third round, just shows you how good Houston softball is overall, not just in particular areas. Even the number 1 team in the state, I believe 2 years ago they were the number 1 team in the state, or even last year. You can lose in the third round of the playoffs. It happens, and it only happens in Texas and in Houston.
Woo! All right. Matt Malatesta, Matthew Ogle, Jackson DePasquale, Alex Hinston. Like and subscribe all the time. Pass it on to a friend. On our YouTube podcast, of course, and then like and follow us on all of our social media channels. All right, we're going to see all the games this weekend. We will report next week when we get to the Final Four and the Final 8 for baseball. We'll see y'all then.